A dangerous surge in COVID-19 cases is putting a major strain on Kentucky's hospitals. The state now has more people being treated for COVID than at any time during the pandemic.
And as of today, just under 1,900 Kentuckians are in the hospital. This is a week-to-week look at the rise in hospitalizations. In early July, that number was less than 200. It doubled by the end of July and has now climbed to a record high. Here in central Kentucky, there are 363 COVID-19 patients. 102 of them are in the ICU and 68 on a ventilator. Victor Puente is first on Fox as we hear from Lexington's hospital leaders about the impact of the summer surge.
The chief nursing officer at Baptist Health Lexington told me she appreciated the governor's kind gesture. She also said the numbers they're seeing now are similar to what they had at the height of the pandemic. Leaders at UK Healthcare and Baptist Health said the last few weeks have only added to how weary they are.
It's been scary and overwhelming.
Understand our employees have been fighting for 17 months and they're exhausted. And so it's tough. As
Healthcare Heroes Week kicks off, those heroes are back on the front lines.
I think it's difficult because we felt like we had that break in the summertime. You spoke of the 4th of July weekend, and we all felt like, we were making headway and we had some relief. And so it's really hard to kind of roll back to those previous restrictions.
The assistant patient care manager for the medicine ICU at UK told me, unlike earlier in the pandemic, staffing, not supplies, is their biggest issue.
The concerning thing is where do we go now? We're already short-staffed. These people were expecting the peak later in September, early October. So where are these patients going to go? How are we going to get the staff?
They've also seen some workers have to miss days because of the spread of COVID at schools.
Some of those children are being quarantined. Staff are having to stay home and take care of them as well.
They tell me they're seeing younger patients, some with no pre-existing conditions. That's not the only change from earlier in the pandemic.
Pregnant women, we've had a lot of pregnant women in our unit this time.
The other battle is with misinformation. Both women tell me getting vaccinated is the best way to help them in the coming weeks.
It's hard to think back 17 months, but staff were afraid to even go home to their families. And now we have so many things that we know about this virus, and it's real. And I think that is the other thing. There are still people that don't think this is real. It is real, and our staff are feeling the effects of that.
Looking at the numbers here in Lexington, Baptist Health told us they have 72 COVID inpatients. 13 of those people are in the ICU. Here at UK Hospital, that number's 87 people, with 37 in the ICU, and that includes 2 children. In Lexington, Victor Puente, Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
Hospitals in southern and eastern Kentucky are seeing a limited number of ICU beds because of the surge in cases. Here's today's COVID report. We mentioned the record number of hospitalizations, but the state also reported the highest number of cases for a Monday, with nearly 2,600 people testing positive. 17 more Kentuckians have died from the virus, and the positivity rate is up to 12.87%.